Have you ever felt like the person who loves you the most is also your toughest critic? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? One moment you're soaring with a new idea, and the next, their words bring you right back down to earth. That's exactly where Nina found herself with Paul. She was full of dreams, ready to build something of her own. But Paul was honest. Brutally honest. Every time she shared a new plan, he'd be there with a thoughtful frown, poking holes in her vision. It all came to a head one evening. Nina had just finished explaining her latest business concept, her eyes sparkling with excitement. But Paul's expression was serious. "I don't know if that idea will work," he said, his voice flat. Nina's heart sank. Her cheeks flushed with a mix of anger and hurt. "Paul, I just need you to believe in me for once," she exclaimed, her voice trembling slightly. He looked at her, genuinely surprised. "I do believe in you, but I also think you need to think these things through more carefully." His words stung, but they also planted a seed of doubt. Was he right? Was she being too idealistic? The following months were a blur of hard work. Nina poured everything she had into her project. She worked late into the night, woke up before the sun, and fueled herself with coffee and determination. Every critical comment from Paul echoed in her mind. "The market is too saturated. Your budget is too optimistic. Have you considered the competition?" Each critique felt like a heavy weight on her shoulders. There were moments she wanted to give up, to throw in the towel and prove him right. She questioned her abilities, her intelligence, her dream itself. But somewhere deep inside, a stubborn fire refused to be extinguished. His criticism, as painful as it was, forced her to be better. She refined her business plan, researched her market until she knew it inside and out, and built a stronger, more resilient strategy. She wasn't just doing it to prove him wrong. She was doing it to prove to herself that she could. And then the day came. Her project launched. The initial response was quiet, a trickle of interest that made her stomach clench with anxiety. Had it all been for nothing? But then the trickle became a stream, and the stream became a river. Orders flooded in. Positive reviews poured across social media. Journalists started calling. It was a success far beyond anything she had dared to imagine in her wildest dreams. That night, as she sat staring at her laptop, watching the numbers climb, Paul walked in. He looked at the screen, then at her, his eyes wide with a mix of shock and awe. He was speechless for a moment. Then, with a smile breaking through his tear-filled eyes, he whispered, I underestimated you." A laugh escaped Nina's lips, a sound filled with relief and pure joy. "You know," she said, turning to him, "all those critiques, they were tough, but they made me better. And now, look at us." Paul pulled her into a tight hug, holding her as if he'd never let go. "I am so proud of you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "And now I see it. You're unstoppable." From that day on, something fundamental shifted between them. Paul was still honest. It was part of who he was. But his honesty was no longer just critical. It was colored with encouragement, with celebration. He celebrated her victories, big and small, and his feedback became a tool for growth, not a weapon of doubt. Nina learned something profound through it all. Sometimes the people who push us the hardest, who challenge our every move, aren't trying to hold us back. They're the ones who see our potential so clearly that they refuse to let us settle for anything less than our absolute best. Their tough love, while difficult to endure, can be the very thing that forges us into the person we were always meant to be. It's a powerful reminder that true support isn't always about gentle words. Sometimes it's about the friction that polishes us into a diamond. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that makes you think. See you next time.